How's it going and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be playing Shake Your Jelly by Dr. Jelly. Shake Your Jelly. If the song title and artist name are a little weird to you, that's okay, because it is. Chris Broad is one of my favorite YouTubers. He was one of the big inspirations for me to start YouTube and maybe make the move to Japan. So a small story about how they do these songs. These songs are just made for fun, just challenges during their YouTube videos. And this last one was made when Chris went on a big month-long adventure to Hokkaido, which is the northern part of Japan. They just kind of make the song on an app, and then Joey makes some lyrics, and then they just make the song. So it's really catchy, and I wanted to teach you how to play it. So first, let's give the intro a quick listen. This song is in the key of G, but it's technically E minor. So the chords during the chorus progression, we'll get to that later, but those chords real quick are E minor, A minor, to a B minor. You can make those sevens if you want, E minor 7, A minor 7, B minor 7. All right, let's start with the riff. So how I like to think of this is breaking it down into 4 parts. The first part was really tricky for me. It's honestly just the first 4 notes that really tricked me up for a while. It took a lot of practice. So here it is. So right there, we're gonna start on a D on the A string, 2 of those, down to a B on the E string, back to the D, another D and a hammer-on up to the E. A little faster, a little faster. All right, part 2. This one is probably the trickiest. It's not so crazy over here, but it's just the timing. So let me show you what that sounds like. It has a little pause at the top on the G note right there. So the notes that we have once again are D, D, and once more to a hammer-on, and then it's a riff walk up. Pause, and then hit an E on the A string. So. Kind of getting that quick is the trick for that. So let's put parts 1 and 2 together. All right, part 3. This one is the most simple out of the 4 parts. So it's going to be 3 Ds in a row, and then on that last D, we're going to hammer on up to the E. A little slower. What I'm doing with the picking hand is just constantly keeping it in that 8th note feel. Just constantly keeping that going. And that'll kind of give it that funk feel as well. All right, parts 1, 2, and 3 together. On any of these parts, you could slide at the very end. Adds a little kind of bass feel to it, just a little funk, which is really fun. All right, last up, part 4. This one isn't too bad. It's exactly like part 2, except there's no break on that high G note. And you're just gonna go to an E, back down to a D, and a hammer on up back to the E. So what that last part sounds like is... really slow. Oh, sorry. So right when you hit that 3rd D in the row, that's when you start doing the riff up, which took me a while as well. All right, so parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 together. And let me try to play it slowed down for you. And there it is. So right off the bat, it starts with just guitar. If you're playing with the video, it's really hard to just hop in. There's no rhythm. It kind of just swells in and goes for it. And it's a quick riff. Yeah, it's a little tricky to get, but it's fun once you get locked into that tempo. So you repeat that twice, and then the bass comes in on that second time, and then we get into the first chord progression. So let's hear that real quick.
Sugar jelly all over the place, cause I'm a bust a load of jelly all over your face. Got a fat stack of jelly cash up in my briefcase, and one sloop of gold that you can't outpace. Let's face.
All right, so the chorus, like I said, is only 3 chords. Think of this in 2 parts. So the first part is going to be E minor, and I like to do the 7. A minor, B minor 7. And then on the second one, I like to add the pinky up here on the top. And what that's gonna do is, I think it's an 11 chord, something like that. And it takes it from sounding like this to adding the pinky. Just makes it sound a little different. I like it. Optional, of course. On this back half though, you're going to play the E minor on the and of 1 instead of on 1. So 1, 2 A minors, B minor 7. So what a chorus sounds like is 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's gonna play through, I think, at least 4 or 8 times before we get to the next part, which I love. And it's a dropped bass part, and it's just drums and bass, and it sounds super cool. Some bass synth in there as well. So let's learn that and double the bass. So here's what that part sounds like.
Shake a jelly, feels good to drink with impeccable taste. I see men getting jelly over my melanin, so quit meddling with the sweet and sticky gelatin man, cause I can easily slam a credit jelly down, spread your light jam all the way to Jellytown.
It's cool because this riff kind of hangs out on that E for the most part, and it's all gonna take part on this, the first part at least, is going to take part on the low E string. So what that sounds like is, so we have 4 E's in a row. Then we're gonna go to a B, down to an A, down to a G, back to an A, G, A. And once we start on the B note, it's gonna be triplets. Triplet, triplet. So 2 sets of triplets. Triplet, triplet. A little slower. And that whole first part. And for all those, I kind of just do all downstrokes. Of course, it'll change once you're into the tempo, and whatever you want to do, you could add in more 8th notes if you want. Something like that if you'd like. All right, the back half of this one is essentially the same thing, but at the very end, we are going to play a little part up here, a D. So what the back half sounds like is this. One more time. So that's slower. Then right here, we're gonna go to the D. 2 G's, back to the D, D, slide up to the E. Cool, so let's put both parts together. And that's the whole song. I just wanted to make a quick video about a song that inspired me recently by some of my favorite YouTubers. Please go check out the original video, do all that, give them some love, give them some likes, and subscribe to them if you haven't. If you're really interested in Japan, subscribe to my channel as well, but watch theirs. They got some great content just showing awesome travel places around Japan. If you're enjoying this teaching content, please let me know, and also let me know what you'd like to hear or learn next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.